Hey, this is Andrew. Welcome to another Keyforge deck review. This is going to be an Age of Ascension deck, so we'll see what we get. Would still like just a really strong, high-powered Shadows setup in AoA. I've gotten some decent ones, but nothing like really good. To be honest, nothing crazy good, I guess, in any set. But let's see. I did get Shadows here, along with Dees, which is I think great with Shadows, and Brobnar. I think the one I got recently with Shadows and Dees also had a Sanctum. So I like having Brobnar in here. Sometimes with these that can be pretty good. I've had good luck with decks that have these little pips here, as well as ones with little turtles. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So this is Luna, Cosdome's Phony. Yeah, hoping for good Amber control in the Shadows. Hopefully good Amber control as well as some board and maybe player control in Dees, and solid board control, maybe some Amber control in Brobnar as well would be ideal. And I think we'll start with Brobnar. Cool. Okay, 1-2 punch that's a good start. Has a bonus Amber and stuns a creature, an enemy creature. If the creature was already stunned, it destroys it. So that's pretty good. Ooh, Bingo Bang Bang, I love this. It's a 2-power goblin that before fight deals 5 damage to each neighbor of the creature it fights. Very nice. A Bramo, 4-power giant knight with an armor, and when you play it you deal 2 damage to each enemy flank creature. That can be really solid board control. And I love it with the Drummernaut. I think that's an oft overlooked combo. Getting to do Bramo, Drummernaut, Bramo is really cool. Drummernaut is a 6-power giant that says play, fight, reap. Return a friendly giant creature to your hand. So that's great. That's fun. Ooh, and we do have Ganger Chieftain in here. So we have the Drummernaut Ganger Chieftain combo. Ganger Chieftain is a 5-power giant that says play, you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. So, I mean, an ideal turn here is to, let's say the enemy has, a couple of 4-power creatures on the board. Play Bramo, deal 2 damage to each of them. Play Drummernaut, you return the Bramo. Play the Bramo, you've now killed their creatures. You use Ganger Chieftain to ready Drummernaut. It tries to fight, there's nothing to fight, so you reap with it. Return the Ganger Chieftain. You do that 5 times, and on the 5th time that Ganger Chieftain comes back to your hand. Instead of playing it next to the Drummernaut, you play it next to the Bramo, because the Drummernaut's already hit rule of 6, and then you get a reap with the Bramo. That's a fantastic combo there if these come out, in the right order, which who knows. Gauntlet of Command. So we only have the one Ganger Chieftain, so our chances of getting this are not amazing, but they're great. I mean, even if they don't come out in that particular order, right? Bingo Bang Bang Ganger Chieftain is fantastic. Gauntlet of Command with any of these is fantastic. So this is good. Gauntlet of Command, by the way, is an artifact that exhausts to ready and fight with a friendly creature. Little Rapskull. Little Rapskull, this one's interesting. Could be good, could be bad, depends on the situation. It's a 2-power goblin with elusive, and it says creatures must fight when used if able. While this is on the board, this is a really good way to just prevent the opponent from reaping. It also prevents us from reaping until we've cleared the board. And we have some good ways to clear the board, so maybe it works out in our favor. Ooh, a Relentless Assault. This is fantastic. When you play it, you ready and fight with up to 3 different friendly creatures, 1 at a time. Again, really good with the creature spread we have here. And this is great. I love getting Brobnar setups that work. This one feels like it works. Have to play it, but it seems like it works. Smith is an action, gains us a bonus Amber, and then we get 2 more if we have more creatures than our opponents, which seems likely. Oh, a King of the Crag, which makes this real good hate for an opponent's Drummernaut in Ginger Chieftain combo. Because King of the Crag is a 7-power giant that gives enemy Brobnar creatures -2 power. That's great. And he's just big. So, just having a big Brobnar creature is not bad. We have to take that Smarty Pants. That's the name of my channel. So don't mind that. It just gets us a bonus amber, and if we happen to get lucky and our opponent has 3 or more Logos cards in play, then we steal 3. Or we steal 2. But I don't really count that. It's probably just a bonus amber. And then lastly, I feel less excited about this, but we'll see how it works out. It's a Wurmrumpus. It's a 3-power beast, and when it fights or reaps, or after it fights or reaps, you ready and fight with a neighboring giant. So I'm less stoked about that, but this is a good setup. This is a really solid setup. So I don't mind. All right, I like it. Notice no Amber Control in here. There is Amber Burst. There's definitely Amber Burst, right? Little Amber Control if our opponent happens to get a Logos presence on the board, which isn't super likely. But there is some Amber Burst in here, but mostly we're looking at board control. Alright, let's look at Dees. We have Amber Imp, which is a form of Amber Control. It disincentivizes the opponent from reaping. It's a 2-power imp with elusive, and after a creature reaps, you stun it. That with the it's interesting. Okay, so this with the little Rapskull really together makes for a hard time for the opponent to reap. And if we are on a Brobnar turn where we've cleared the board and we want to do all this ready and fail to fight reap stuff, we could fight with the Amber Imp early to get it off the board, probably, depending on the situation. But we have enough tools, we could probably pull that off. Okay, Banish gains us a bonus amber and puts an enemy creature into our opponent's archives. That's really nice. Don't mind seeing that. The best target for this probably is Brend. We have a Binding Irons, which is interesting. I'll be excited to take this to Chainbound, I guess, because I think this is really nice in Chainbound, or if you're in a format where you're gonna like Adaptive, where you might play with chains. This gives you a way to push your opponents up a little bit, and you get value once you've pushed your opponent into like 7 or more chains. You start getting value out of this. Earlier than that, I don't think it's worth much. Charette is a 4-power demon that, after being played, captures 3. It's very nice. Ooh, Lash of Broken Dreams. That's solid. It's an artifact that exhausts to make our opponent's keys cost +3 for their next turn. So between Charette and the Lash, we have pretty decent Amber Control already so far in Dees. We have a Not Finished With You, which gives us a bonus amber. Shuffle any number of creatures from your discard pile into your deck. We already have some good targets. The Charette's a good target. The Ginger Chieftain, maybe the King of the Crag, depending on the situation. The Drummernaut, the Bramo, maybe. These are pretty good targets, and hopefully in Shadows we get more good targets. We got 2 of those. It's probably good. Schuler, another great target for Not Finished With You. 5-power demon. When you play it, if your opponent has 4 or more amber, you steal 1. That's fantastic. Tesmal is a 2-power imp with elusive. After it reaps, you choose a house, and your opponent can't choose that house as their active house on their next turn. So that is some good player control there. And Unlocked Gateway, this we probably don't need in this deck, because I think we have enough other board control. We probably don't end up using this, but in a pinch it could be quite good. So it has Omega, which means after you play it, you end your step 3, but it destroys each creature. It wipes the board. Bloodshard Imp, that's a little more creature control there. 2-power imp, after a creature reaps, its controller must sacrifice it. This applies to itself, so if you're on an awesome Dees turn, you want to use your Tesmal, but you have Bloodshard Imp on the board, you just reap with the Bloodshard Imp. First, it sacrifices itself, and then you're good. Okay, one more Dees card here. Oh, 3 Fates. That's pretty okay. Gain a bonus amber and destroy the 3 most powerful creatures. It's very possible we have the 3 most powerful creatures. But, if I have a Not Finished With You and this in my hand, I probably don't mind I'll just blow them up and put them back in. Some pretty nice play effects. Alright, and let's go into shadows. What do we have here? Some Gamgee, 2 power elf thief with elusive. After it reaps, if your opponent has more amber than you, steal one. Okay, I don't love it, but it's an okay card. Lemindra, 1 power elf thief with deploy and elusive, and its neighbors have elusive. Anything I really care to put this next to? Maybe like, maybe the Charette, if it, I feel like it really matters. Maybe the King of the Crag, if that matters. Maybe like the Bingle Bang Bang to keep it useful. That could be good. Sucker Punch gives us a bonus amber. It has alpha, so we have to play it first thing on our turn, and it deals 2 damage to an enemy creature. And if that creature is destroyed by the damage, you archive Sucker Punch, which is good. Umbra is a 2 power elf thief with skirmish, and when it fights, it steals 1. And I think this means we aren't getting Ronnie, which is making me a little sad. Although again, you know, Umbra with Brobnar is not a terrible situation. Whistling Darts gives us a bonus amber and deals 1 to each enemy creature. Oh, Yancey Gang, that's good. It's a 5 power elf thief that can exhaust. That's very nice. We got 2 of those. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't mind that. And we have the board control to make that work. The only bummer with these cards is none of these is like an instant steal. These all have to get on the board and then steal later. So that's less good, but they can steal turn after turn. So if we establish hard board control, it could be quite good. Hidden Stash gives us a bonus amber and archives a card. That's very nice. Hideaway Hole. It's an artifact with a bonus amber, and it has Omni. You sacrifice it to give your creatures, the creatures you control, elusive until the start of your next turn. Very nice. Nightforge, got to see Devin use this to great effect at the Gen Con Sealed Vault Tour to get around a Miasma. Outside of that, it's not a great effect, but to get around Miasma, it's quite good. It gives you a bonus amber, and if you've not forged a key this turn, you may forge a key at +4 current cost. So it costs 2 more overall than, for example, a key charge, but it is in shadows, and I think that counts for something. And yeah, it can be quite good in a pinch. And also Key of Darkness. That's a little brutal. It is better if your opponent has no amber, but otherwise it is much worse than Nightforge. You forge a key at +6 current cost, but if your opponent has no amber, you forge a key at +2 instead. And lastly here, interesting on the board control front, we have Scowly Keeper. It's a 2 power elf thief with skirmish. It enters play under your opponent's control and can be used as if it belonged to any house. At the end of your turn, destroy one of its neighbors. So at the end of the controller's turn, right? So do we want to use that? That's an interesting question. Can you banish the Scowly Keeper? That's an interesting question. Yeah, this is interesting, and I wonder. I mean, having this, like, if you have a little Rapskull on the board and you drop this onto your opponent's side, along with having a couple Yancey Gangs out, it could be quite nice. But I have definitely mixed feelings about that. So yeah, here it's actually the shadows that let me down a little bit. I'm not super excited about this shadows setup. The Dees and Brobnar setups actually seem quite good, and I'm pretty excited to give this a try. I actually think it has a good shot. It just doesn't have amazing things in the shadows. So anyway, that is Luna Cosdome's Phony. And I hope you enjoyed walking through it with me. I sure enjoyed showing it to you. And maybe I will get to play it with you online or in person soon. And we can forge some keys. Have a great day.